So it's back to Sooner Patan multiplayer for us, as we only have one more diamond in the entire game left to get, and that of course is snow leopards. The thing is though, sometimes the best way to get a certain diamond is to not hunt it. So we're gonna just let the hunt take us where it will today, and we'll see what we can find. So in this particular server, it is right about 9:30 a.m. So Nilgai and Wild Yak are both drinking, and when I say something like let the hunt take us where it will, what I mean is we're gonna be hunting whatever's active, in this case, Nilgai and probably Wild Yak in a bit. And hopefully, that can lead to some cool stuff. We may pick up a heavy track, who knows where that leads us, and we just kind of go from there, as opposed to sort of forcing only hunting in snow leopard territory. Now, to be fair, as far as specifically trying to get a diamond snow leopard, we are, of course, not going to get one down here. There's just not snow leopards this far south, but when we go look for yaks, maybe if we find a heavy track or something, we could end up there, and that's kind of the entire idea. But for our first kill of the hunt, we've got a gold blue Nilgai 85.66, just ended up single lung, and these things are so cool. We have not had a rare male either. That's the other thing that I don't want to do too much. If we only hunt snow leopards, the thing about it is, like, in a couple hours, we might kill 3, 4, something like that, and we could be missing out on all kinds of other cool things. So the hope is, by doing this, at least we have a chance at maybe multiple species trophies. I don't have a clue where that came from, but that was a tiger. We've got the 338 for them today, so I guess maybe not the best option when it comes to speed. It sounded like super, super faint, and just no direction whatsoever. I'm just gonna stand up on this rock, and I think we're just gonna wait, hopefully for it to make itself visible. There it is. Just a level 2 female. Might try to get like a brain shot. Never seen that before. I don't know, I guess that animation must all be part of like one long string, because clearly that went straight through the brain and the neck. 2 neck bones nonetheless. And it was still like walking along just fine. That was interesting. And just like that, we transitioned to checking a couple of yak zones, and this guy doesn't seem to be too keen on that. That's a really tiny estimate for a mythical though. I think we just got that neck shot on the follow-up, so that prevents any tracking. But a 250 max and a 242 score, he's gold but not by a ton. Gotta be one of the smallest mythicals we've seen. Also, we missed the lungs, so that neck shot really saved us a lot of tracking. I may be wrong, but I think that blue sheep's fleeing from a snow leopard. The question is, yeah, with his wind, is it actually going to come up here? Oh, it is chasing this sheep. Look at that. Stalking right into like 30 meters. That was so cool. I wish that brush wasn't in the way, but every now and then, you get in that perfect spot where something goes running right by you, and if you just stop and think about it for a second, a lot of times, it may be a snow leopard sending it running through. The really cool thing about them, they're one of the only species. Their paws, like, actually angle based on the terrain they're sitting on. I know that's gonna sound dumb, but if you look at other species, they don't actually do that. You can see it was sitting on that slope, and its paws are actually angled to be able to sit on it properly. It's a really cool little detail that I hope gets incorporated with more and more species down the road. But our first snow leopard, while chasing yak out here, and by the way, we are kind of past the end of yak drink time, but we'll still check some lakes. Honestly, you know, diamonds for a yak are a dime a dozen, or maybe even less, but rares are much harder to come by, and we haven't had one of those, much like the piebald Nilgai we talked about, so I at least want to check tracks, and it gives us opportunities for cool encounters like that. Like I said before, sometimes the best way to hunt snow leopards is to not hunt snow leopards. Got a mythical up there. He's actually feeding, and you can see I got that marker pretty close. There was a warning call, so I just threw a marker in that direction, and he is standing right underneath that tree. So if we can get him spotted again for a second, still attentive, gonna probably let him lift his head if we can. He just went alert too. That's crazy. Like, we know they have heightened senses, but the fact that we hadn't moved there for, I don't know, 10-15 seconds anyway, and he was still just sitting attentive, to go to the next stage of that, to go to alert, is just at that range, not something you see with other species. So now 2 snow variant snow leopards, 28.12 for our mythical there, and definitely not a bad deal as we're just running around checking some yak locations. Speaking of, are we getting charged? Where is that coming from? Like, that had to be so far behind us. That'll take care of it. Just got slapped by the tail. At least that didn't do any damage. And we get a little bonus kill for our efforts. I don't even know what that says. 154 scoring bronze, I think. And the plan had been, probably check this lake and maybe this little tiny pond as well. And then we're going to scoot down south and check for Barrasinga. But as you can see, this has potential. 1 level higher there, and we could have had our diamond snow leopard just like that. Now we're getting a little somewhere. That's a pretty nice looking level 4 Barrasinga. It's got those split tines, so similar to the level 5 rack. I don't know what fur that is. We might have to shoot that female one too just to see. Want to make sure we're not missing out on anything else. And I think we're going to be okay to try to get both of those. Oh, actually, it might just be that dark brown. Face on us, it looked kind of weird. Anyway, let's get that guy down. Should be a pretty decent one. And we'll see. Maybe this guy's got a chance. Definitely looks pretty good up close. Might be the light brown fur. And he's a 211, so still falls well shy. Diamond is 226. Probably our best level 4 to this point. Got him through the heart with the 7 mil. And at the very least, seeing some decent antlers. So we're going to keep on scooting over here to the west. Don't have much time for Barrasinga to drink remaining, so probably can just get to these 2 lakes. So unfortunately, nothing really all that special down here. But we now are in blue sheep drink time. And I think that is the ideal excuse to get right back up into the mountains. So we'll go and claim that one. And then we can pretty much go through a bunch of areas that we haven't been. Like this whole area, like along the border of Himgiri and I don't even know how to say that, Shari Himal. That's great for blue sheep. And then even into here, like further west. Those spots that we haven't checked for snow leopards yet, we can kind of go for both again. So just going to be a decent little gold. 127 for him. And we might as well make the most of our time and jump straight up here. We may even start with that lake in Bahad. I gotta say, in terms of numbers anyway, this is working surprisingly well. Got another snow leopard out here. Also have absolutely no breath to work with, so maybe as soon as she turns back, if she will, we can try to get this shot. I guess, I mean, that's definitely not going to be exactly what we want, but taking her down fast enough, maybe we got like liver or something? But just kind of scooting over here towards this first lake on the border in the 2 regions. Picked up her track, followed it a little bit, and she's just trotting up there on the side of the mountain. Now in this case, we definitely did end up making a subpar shot, but again, for the sake of just bringing one down and not spending forever tracking it, we will take that, our 3rd snow variant, level 3 female, actually I think higher than normal. Oh, we were so close. Little too high actually. If that shot was lower, it would have been in the lungs. Somehow we just clipped the stomach, and that probably helped to bring her down a lot more quickly. Nonetheless, our 3rd snow leopard, and we really didn't have to even detour from our blue sheep lake. That is not a bad size 4. I don't know what has happened here, but they're all running back down this way. We'll just take that. Make sure there's not like a rare or anything in there. There's 2 things. I just thought, could that have been a snow leopard too? Maybe. But we spooked them from here, and I kind of think in that case what was actually happening was their pathing kind of changed, because this guy was running north and then cut back south. Sometimes you'll just get that. They're running one direction and just kind of cut back and go the other way. I don't think we sent a snow leopard run away by doing that, and we definitely didn't get any call, but as we scoot up here, we'll probably be looking really close for tracks just in case. That's a nice looking blue sheep. It is a 5? It only goes up to 158, which is not exactly the most promising. It's super like horizontal. One of my favorite things about blue sheep horns is there's significant variation in like what the sort of frames look like. That's about as flat as I've seen. I think it's the brown again. As it's walking out into the light, that's what it looks like. We still need the slate gray as far as like the common variants go, but if we could get the 7 mil out, maybe we won't prone so we don't shoot the rocks. Let's see if we can slot this in. That I think should be just fine. I don't love that he ran from that. We've shot a decent blue sheep with the 7mm before, and I think it was a liver shot and it ran. Could we have like shot above the heart and between the lungs or something? I don't know how else it runs, but I think we're gonna be okay. High bleed rate for sure. And yeah, that's vital blood. I have no idea how it shook that off, but probably the worst estimate level 5 blue sheep we've seen. He still makes it 157.34. It was right lung. At 123 meters, I am surprised he shook that off like that and didn't just immediately drop. Nonetheless, pretty decent blue sheep there. And finally, just kind of letting the hunt take us where it will and just going along has produced something good. So we're just going to keep on scooting up this way. Maybe we can find more snow leopards. Maybe we can find more solid blue sheep. One final snow leopard, and we are right up on it. 20 to 30 meters away. Can hear it moving around, but it definitely has not spooked. I kind of think, man, there's a big tree right in the way too. I kind of think the move is going to be just crouch up and try to go for this. Because I don't know if we're going to get it spotted prone, and it's probably going to take off. Oh, it's a 7. Okay. It actually is just bedded there. And I think what looks to be a caramel snow leopard is going to end up being our last kill. We got so close to that one. And unfortunately, nothing crazy. A gold at 26.88, that must say. Almost ended up with a heart at that angle. I think we will take that as we head back to the trophy lodge with, unfortunately, yet another trophy blue sheep while hunting snow leopard, and we can't get the snow leopard side of things for the multi-mount. And we could just about fill an entire trophy lodge with just our diamond blue sheep at this point, but I do think it's pretty cool to see the difference again. Like, on the right's our 165, that's our biggest one, and on the left is our new 157 from today, and just how much more horizontal those horns are. It is neat there's that much variety with these things, and hopefully, speaking of variety, we can eventually get the slate gray variant, because as far as common furs, we have every single one of them except for that as diamond. So nice to get something on that hunt. And I mean, we killed, I think, 4 snow leopards. I think 2 male, 2 female. Not too bad considering we weren't just struggling to find those. I think if we can continue to do that type of hunt down the road, it can eventually work out. We had the mythical, we had the level 7. If we could just get one a little bit bigger, we'd be right there and crossing that final diamond off the list. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.